Hey Ape Nation, how you doing? This is Jim Marin from the Great Canadian Apes. James is still sick, but he's almost well, and I hope everybody in your family and anybody that you're associated with are doing well through this crazy Omicron. All right, so today's price action, we were down, but so was the SPY, the Nasdaq, the Russell 2000. Everything was down today. We're going to be reviewing this week's options and the hedging's price target for the week, and we're going to be giving you our price target for the week. There's press releases going on for patent applications and approved. And Progenity was approved to present findings, their abstracts, at the European Crohn's and Colitis Organization forum coming up in March, which is huge news because they wouldn't be doing well and being accepted to present to that board if their work was not approved. We're back on the short squeeze leaderboard. News back from Standard & Poor's via Ortex on Ethereum's holdings. I got that in earlier today, and so I'll be sharing that information with you. And yeah, we put out our top 10 meme stocks of 2021 with a separate video that went out actually yesterday. And we are here to be able to work with you to be able to find the top 10 for 2022. And I'm thinking PROG's going to be one of them. PROG's looking very good long term, not financial advice. So the first press release we're going to take a look at is Progenity submits patent application for treatment of a disease with in the GI tract with live biotherapeutics. So Progenity Incorporated has submitted a patent application for treatment of a disease of the GI tract with live biotherapeutics. And so this is going to add to what their 220 pending ones that they have in. They're like a think tank. They just keep on coming up with new things. It's awesome. And similarly, the Progenity announces acceptance of 2 abstracts on treatment of GI disorders at ECCO 2022. So Progenity, a biotechnology company innovating in the field of oral biotherapeutics for GI health and beyond, today announced that 2 presentations with patient data on indicators of efficacy in the treatment of GI disorders has been accepted by the 16th Congress of European Crohn's and Colitis Organization. This is huge for many reasons. Number one, they're presenting on patient data. And so this isn't, okay, we're going to be doing this. This is presenting their data. And who are they presenting to? All of Europe. Crohn's and Colitis organization. So that's awesome. That's going to happen on February 16th to 19th. And so this is how Progenity presents their good news. I know there's a lot of investors out there saying, hey, why don't they pump up their own stock? That sort of thing. They are a biofarm that could get sued on a drop of a hat if they're trying to pump up their own stock and all of a sudden it doesn't go through for whatever reason. The best way that they can pump up their own stock is within their medical circles and with breakthrough knowledge through patents. And in this case, if they wouldn't have accepted the 2 abstracts if it wasn't good, relevant information. And so I believe that's going to be a catalyst as early as February 16th. And let's take a look at Frankfurt, Germany market. On the Frankfurt market, PROG was even for the day. It's been up 12% in the new year. Previous close of 195 and a close today at 195. Stay healthy, European proggers. Price action today, it was down 7% for the day. Previous close was at 225. We opened at 226. At a high at 227. We were seeing some support in around the 213 level, but then broke through that in the afternoon. Still saw some solid support at the 208 level. broke through that. Solid support at the $2 level, and then that 208 turned into level of resistance. The SPY was down 8 points at so down 1.7%. Nasdaq was down 495 for 3.1% down, and the Russell was down 3% as well. So everything was down today. Today's level of supports were at the 202 and the 212. Level of resistance we saw at the 227, 225, and at 208. Past levels of resistance on the upside, it could be at 233 and 250. Levels to watch on the downside, support $2. It's holding strong at $2, that's for sure. And but if it breaks, then you've got 182. Not financial advice. I want to be able to take a look, just to be able to see how similar it was between. So here's the SPY for the day, and notice that even, then everything down. Right? Even for a bit, everything down. Same thing over here for the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ fell 3.34 today, 500 points down. And so we see that PROG, in essence, followed the major indicators. And the I'm just going to get back to, here we go. Options expiring January 7th. Hedges are going to price target $2 again. This is where we're at. We've got 29% in the money calls, 71% out of the money calls. 50-50 with the puts right now. So the hedges have a lot to gain if the closing price this week is less than $2. So they're going to be pushing for that. With 557,000 calls at $2 and 202,000 puts at $2. They're going to continue to short the stock to try and have the price close under $2. We won this battle last week, and it's going to be another close one for $2 this week. And this I received back from Ortex today. Dear Jim, Happy New Year. He had a lengthy back and forth with Standard & Poor's, and as they have agreed that is very complicated SEC filing to unravel that was put in by regarding Ethereum's holdings. And I'm almost happy with the conclusions. Their conclusion is that Ethereum's holdings after this filing is definitely as follows. Total reported shares are 67 million, which are inclusive of 8 million derivatives in forms of warrants. For example, they are convertible into shares of common stock, but there's no evidence that they have been converted. But they own them. Out of entities as reporting, the following are direct owners, and so various Ethereum companies with various amounts. So the remaining owners are not direct owners of the shares, and they are deemed interest owners, which is why they're not included to avoid double counting. So far, so good, but I've gone back to ask them whether their record of there being a 22 million share purchase in November is correct. And so they sent through, this is what Ethereum had for their November 24th filing, which I believe is just after they purchased that $90 million worth of stock. And Standard & Poor's is just going to verify that. It says the areas in the green match the difference in Jeffrey A. Farrell's position is explained by the disappearance of 6 million from the filing, which in turn is the sum of 4.2 million and 2.3 million. This would appear to show a decrease in Ethereum's position from 73 million in derivatives to the 67 million. We are, however, showing an increase in common shares for Ethereum from 36 million to 59 million, which is that 22 million that I believe was perhaps purchased on November 23rd. We'll see. Which either suggests that the number of derivatives has changed substantially, or Standard & Poor's sent us the wrong figure after the September filing. I've asked them to double check which is the case. When I get this resolved, I'll let you know. So this is significant, as it's been stated by Ortex that Progenity does not need to put in any other forms past November 22nd SEC filing. So they could sell that 90 million prospectus worth of shares at any time. And there's a good chance that Ethereum increased their shares at this time by approximately 22 million at the price of $3.97 on November 23rd. This would total the $90 million prospectus. Three big things can come. Three big things come from this for me. Number one, there is $90 million in share. The $90 million in share dilution has already occurred, and Progenity has said that they will not need to raise any more capital until at least 2023, which for us PROG investors means no more dilution. It is what it is. Goes up from here. Ethereum, secondly, Ethereum increased their holdings by $90 million then, right around the Piper Sandler conference when PROG was looking for investors. Ethereum stepped up and said, we'll take it. I know we already have 300 million, but yeah, we'll bring it on. We'll be your further investor. Thank you. So they must be very bullish on the company. Number three, the price which Ethereum would have purchased the shares for was right at the $4 level. This must be the true price, not the current manipulated one. To take a look at Ortex today, we have, these are where the news is coming from. Progenity announces acceptance of 2 abstracts on treatment of gastro and GI disorders at ECCO 22. Take a look at the shorts. They were down again by 5%. I don't know how much I believe this data, but it is what it is, and this is what we got. Board shares, 2.1 million, so that would have went back to Monday. Return shares, 3.4 million. The estimated current short interest is 12.7. The utilization is down to 86%. Cost to borrow, down to 24%. Days to cover, 0.32. Very easy for them to manipulate the price at that with that days to cover level. Shares on loan is down 20% to 24 million. So this is pretty big. So it's still double what the current SI is. There's still 12 million floating out there, who knows where, but it appears to be much lower than what it was a week ago. The percent of free float on loan is 23%, and that again is down 20% from a week ago. The estimated short interest percent of free float, 12.89%. So what's being reported is much lower than that 20% threshold level that becomes maybe it's going to be a short squeeze play. It's not a short squeeze play right now. They could get trapped with a catalyst, and then it becomes a short squeeze play. And let's take a look at Fintel. And so we have 15.5 million shares that are shorted currently. Short interest ratio, it would take about a day to cover. Short interest percent of the float is they have it at about 15%. Dark pool short volume, 2.3 million today, and at 49.87%. So again, we see half of it going through the dark pool. So something must be going on. Usually when that level goes through the dark pool, then there's strong manipulation. Short squeeze score said we'd report when we're in the on the leaderboard again, and so we are. We've got 84.08, and that ranks us 86 out of 5,400 companies. There was 1.8 million available short shares, so they're not hard to come by at 20% interest, and there's all kinds of failure to delivers every day. It is said that this is the most manipulated stock in the market. 50% dark pool volume. Why? For a $2 bio pharma company. I think there's a lot going on here. That's why I'm still in. And back on the short squeeze leaderboard. So to wrap up for today, price was down about 7% closed at, I think it was 208. It was down. So for the year, it's even. It started at 208. It's after the new year, it's still at 208. Today was down along with the SPY, NASDAQ, and Russell 2000. The options are looking like the price, the hedges are going to target the $2 again. Our price target for the week and next is going to be $1.95. They might be able to break through the $2, and if they do, I think it's going to be end up at about the $1.95 level. We do have strong support at $1.83 if we do fall under the 2. Or it could be as high as 245. I don't think it's going to go much higher than that. I think it's going to be a big day on January 18th when that patent that was leaked earlier is likely going to be reappearing on the U.S. Patent Office, and I think that's where we're going to break through the 250. Press releases, more patent applications, and then approved abstracts for the GI conference, Crohn's and Colitis conference in Europe. It's huge. We're on the top 100 again for the short squeeze leaderboard, and Ortex and Standard & Poor is still talking a little bit more about was there a $22 million or a $90 million, 22 million shares available? Was that purchased in around November 23rd? But they have confirmed that Ethereum's holdings is around the 67 million mark. We did put out the top 10 meme stocks of 2021, and we are looking at PROG being one of the top 10 for 2022. PROG is looking very good long term, my friends. Not financial advice. Hope everybody keeps well. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.